Hey guys, it's Ryan here with HobbiesofaMan once again, and today we're doing another film review. Today we're looking at Solo Leveling Reawakening, which is a recap movie for Season 1 of Solo Leveling, as well as an introduction to Season 2. It's based on Solo Leveling by Chugong and Redeye Studios, although the writer of this adaptation is Noboru Kimura. The director is Shunsuke Nagashige. It was made by A1 Pictures. And the music here was attributed to Hiroyuki Sawano. And in terms of notable talent, since I watched it in English, we have Alex Lee as the main voice for Jinu Song. And we have Sun Woo Cho, or Prodigy, as the voice for someone else. I can't remember who, but I did recognize his voice when he was, when the character that he played was on screen. And Chris Sabat was also a voice actor in this movie for, I think it was for the leader of the White Tiger Guild. I can't remember his name. This movie was released here in the States on December 6th, 2024. I watched it December 10th, 2024. I went to the movies by myself on Tuesday at the 450 show here near my house. And I paid $6 for this. I didn't buy any snacks or anything, so I just raw dogged the movie. And I was not the only person in the theater, which is great. Usually I am one of the few people that are in the theater, but I guess it's because it's already the end of the semester for university students, and it was late enough for high schoolers to show up, right? So there was about 10 people total in the movie theater, and there was about 50 to 60 seats available. And let's see, what else? Was there anything pertinent to any of that? No, not really. I watched the dub because I'd rather just watch stuff in English just because it's easier. I mean, I don't mind reading subtitles. I do it pretty often. But when I want to watch something for the first time, it's easier just to watch it in English. So let's get started with the review here. It should be pretty quick. There really isn't too much going on here that I haven't talked about before in other videos, right? So this movie is a recap of the first season of the series, which actually ends immediately after Jinwoo-sun gets access to the Necromancer class, right? So the first season has 13 episodes. It ends with Jinwoo doing the job change quest, beating Igris, and making him arise, becoming his shadow warrior, right? So the movie recaps basically up to that point, and then it ends. Very simply, it just goes to black. And then it says Season 2, and I can't remember the subtitle for Season 2, but it mentions that. And then Season 2 starts. And Season 2, or at least the episodes that were shown to us in Season 2, refer to the beginning of the proper story of Solo Leveling, right? Because basically everything up to him getting his Necromancer class is kind of like a prologue to the story. And after that, when he starts fighting against the Ice Elves and the Polar Bears, what happens is that he starts to develop further into his class and learning about the reason why he has the ability to level, right, where no one else does. And so we basically see him deal with the Red Gate when he takes, what's it called, Gina, right? Gina Wu, I think is her name, or Gina Ho, with him to watch the White Tiger Guild team, right? And he gets Iron, and he gets one of those cool polar bears that he eventually gives a name to. I can't remember what his name is, though. And overall, it's really great. It's really enjoyable. The back half of this movie is awesome. It's really worth the price of admission, especially if you go on a discount day or a day where you can get a cheaper ticket, right? Maybe a matinee will work as well. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you just watch this movie if you've already seen the anime, because I think the anime is a bit better. I haven't watched all of it, but my understanding is that it's better. I mean, ultimately, I think that the best way for you to enjoy the story is probably the comic book, although the most cost-effective way is the light novel. And I actually like the light novel better than the comic book, but I think the comic book is so well done that, I mean, there's pacing issues, but it's so well done art-wise that it's probably the most enjoyable way to read it. But there was some issues that I had with this movie. First of all, I feel like the order in which the movie should have happened was you get the prologue, more or less all of it, right? Maybe kind of sped up in some ways, where we get to see that Jinwoo goes into the double dungeon. he gets killed and he awakes again, right? And then from there, we could kind of chop up the series into pieces so that it would kind of go the way that they made it go, right? I feel like there maybe could have been a bit of better uses of montages to kind of go through all of the grinding that he had to do. But then I guess they didn't want it to look like a slideshow. So maybe that's why they went about it the way they did. But I felt that the kind of hook of the story was not presented well in this movie. And I find that concerning and sad because that is the reason why most people enjoyed this series, right? When they first read it in the comic book, it's that really creepy, happy smile that the stone giant does before he kills Jinwoo, right? Before he decides he wants to level, right? Before he wants to live again, right? So I had a bit of an issue with that. I think that they buried the lead a bit too much, in my opinion. I think the anime did this as well, but the anime has like some elements going for it, right? Which is most people give anime at least 3 episodes to decide whether they like it or not. And I don't necessarily think that people give that same kind of chance to a movie, right? I mean, this is about the same length as 3 or 4 episodes of an anime anyways, but what I'm saying is because of the way in which people consume TV shows, there is a bit more leeway to things taking a while to get started. Whereas with a movie, you want everything to be pretty concise and pretty quickly explained and explained well. And I don't think that this movie succeeds in doing that. However, the second half of the movie, after we finish up with the first season and we get the really good stuff from season 2, it is really well animated. It's really enjoyable. You understand the gist of the story by that point, and it's handled phenomenally. It's just the problem with the first part of the movie that I feel is not good, because the point of this sort of recap movie is to provide an easy, quick entry point into the series for people, right? So that they can start watching season 2 with minimal issues. With the way that they structured the movie, that's not possible. I think that people would need to, one, be interested in the story to begin with, find the movie, decide that the movie is fine and they want to learn more, and then go ahead and watch the anime to learn everything properly. And at that point, you're kind of creating too many steps, right? And so I find that this movie failed in accomplishing its main goal, even if it was enjoyable to watch as someone that's a fan of Solo Leveling, right? So those are basically my thoughts there. I feel like I rambled a little bit and maybe repeated myself a bit too many times, but hopefully you guys understand what I was kind of going for. If you watch this movie and you know about Solo Leveling, let me know what you thought. If you don't know about Solo Leveling and you watch this movie, also let me know what you thought, because I'm very curious what someone that has no concept of Solo Leveling thinks when they watch this movie. Was it clear enough for you guys? Because I think that as someone that knows about it, it wasn't clear enough for me, right? So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you guys later.